All right, welcome to the Business Building Blueprint, the sure way to explode your business profit using a framework that works. All right, so you're at the right place at the right time. Welcome to the Business Building Blueprint Seminar Training. This webinar is not for you if you are looking for a program in which you do not have to do any work and profit from sitting on the couch. All right. It's also not for you if you like to try things out like you do at the local department clothing store, right? You like to put it on, take it off. It's not a good fit. I don't know. All right. This is not for you if you're looking for a get rich quick program. This is not it. All right. If you are negative Nathan or negative Nancy who knows everything, but pockets are turned inside out, this is not the seminar for you. All right, guys? All right. Question I have for you. Could you drive a car with no gas? All right. Or could you get a haircut over the phone? The answer is no. So where am I going at with this? 80% of all businesses never see past year one. And this is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The question is, do you know why? All right. First of all, I want to say I really, 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 really appreciate you joining me here today. And as a little token of my appreciation, I'm going to give you the 3 key components to prevent you from becoming a part of the 80% of business owners that do not make it past year one. So this is kind of where everything starts. And we got 3 foundational parts here. And the first one is productivity. First and foremost, I want to talk really about profit, because it's like profits always get people, but you got to understand, in order for you to have profits, there's some other things you got to have with that, right? And part of it is having your productivity, having your marketing, and then we go into the profit, because all those things are like building a house. All those things have to come together in order for everything to funnel in to make a profit. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So if you don't already have a paper and a pen, I would suggest that you grab it right now. I think I'm going to actually give these slides at the end. If you send an email or what have you, we'll be able to give these slides to you. But I want you to understand those 3 pivotal points of productivity, marketing, and then profit. And we're going to talk a little bit about that as we go on. All right. So take a look at this. It's very important. All right. Moving on. All right. These are 3 key components that will completely revolutionize the way in which you conduct your business on a day-to-day business. All right. If you want to dive deeper into these 3 key components that will save you time, money, and resources, please stick around until the very end of this. I promise to make it worth your while. All right. So here we go. Here is what we call the sneaky and ethical way to learn techniques, tips that your competition is using right under your nose right now and is massively capitalizing on. Your clients, number 1, will be thanking you for your newfound expertise, right? Easily create a business model that is constantly and consistently churning out profits and interest while you sleep, even if you don't have any connections in the industry in which you're in right now. I mean, you don't know anybody, you don't know anything about it, right? But if put in, because all business is the same, the only difference is a little bit different in terminology, right? So if you understand the basic premise of business, period, it's very easy for you to get into any industry without knowing much. The only thing you have to learn really is the terminology. Business is business, all right? Learn why it's important for you to position yourself where everyone's attention is, and that's social media, right? And I'm gonna stop right there real quick, because a lot of people don't really understand social media, right? And social media is not about you putting posts up on your social media, unless you got a gazillion followers, all right? Last time I checked, Facebook is not in the business of giving free marketing. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Not much in this seminar because that's even a deeper conversation, but we're going to talk a little bit more about that and some other additional training when it comes to the importance of social media in your business. If you're not using social media in your business, you're at a very big disadvantage. All right, social media is vital, but most businesses do not know how to leverage it properly. And 9 times out of 10, if you're looking at this video right now, you do not know how to leverage social media. The majority, I would almost go to the point of saying a good 97% of businesses out there today, especially small businesses do not know how to leverage social media at all right? So you think about that for a second. If you don't know how to leverage where everyone's attention is at, how is that going to be beneficial to you? It's not, ladies and gentlemen, it's not. You got to know where everyone's attention, and right now, everyone's attention is on social media. All right. Why you should stay until the very end. Something I learned a long time ago. And this comes out of the millionaire mindset. It says rich people constantly learn and grow while poor people think they already know. Unless you are making $10,000 plus per month or more in your business, you need to stay until the end. You need to be one of those people that constantly learn and grow, because that's what's going to make you rich intellectually. It's going to make you rich in your business. It's going to help you stay rich. Poor people, people that never grow, never become much in life or in their business, the people that already know, well, I've seen this before. I attended this seminar here and I learned this. I don't care. That does not even matter at this point of what you've seen, what you heard, or what you believe, because our beliefs and reality sometimes seem to be in different realms. All right. So what you believe right now, after the seminar, I'm gonna be something totally different. So I want you to just listen and tune into what we got to talk about today, because it's very important. Because I'm seeing a lot of small businesses, a lot of people that want to take their business to the next level, but they don't know where to start and they don't know where to go. So today we're going to take a time and talk about 3 main components that if you just implement these things today, it can revolutionize your business, right? So my promise to you is that you'll get a step-by-step strategy for identifying and acquiring the best practices for starting or maintaining a profitable business. So some people, they're just starting right now. And some people, they already have a business, but it's not producing any type of profits for them, right? I have some cool secrets for you, right? Some cool secrets and some strategies, plus some very surprising strategies you'll need to know about in order to beat your competition. And a lot of my strategies are techniques you can begin to use and start implementing today. So I want you to keep that in mind, and as you listen in and tune in, because what I want you to do is make sure you understand these strategies. It's not something I'm just gonna, just go by real quick. I'm gonna go really in depth and really try to explain it to you. So I want you to take the time, listen, write down, take notes, because it's going to be very vital and very important to you, for you to really tune in these things, because these are things that people are not teaching right now. All right. All right. A little bit about me. My name is Brandon L. Draper. I'm an Amazon #1 best-selling author of the book Becoming Who You Should Be Despite Who You Are. I've been featured on many different news media outlets. That's me, with Les Brown there. So I've done a lot when it comes to helping business owners, helping being a part of different major events, working with a lot of Fortune 500, 5,000 companies, nonprofit companies, to help them spearhead their business, their operations, help them to get to the next level of doing things. So I'm not shy about that at all. And I'm just happy and I'm elated to be in a position where I'm able to help people on a consistent basis. For the past 10 years, I've mentored and advised over 5,000 discerning business owners who wanted the very best for their company, but did not know where to start. And that really, says a lot about people just wanting to do something different. And right now we're in a particular era where businesses are growing. And in order for you to grow, you have to be privy to certain types of information. And a lot of other companies out here are willing to position themselves to get this information. The question today to you is, are you willing to position yourself to get this information? So I'm doing something a little bit different, because when I first started in business, one of the first things I always wanted to do, I wanted to ensure that everyone had a fair chance, had a fighting chance of making it big in business, being the entrepreneur that they always wanted to be. And then I seen that there was a disparity, that there was a gap between small business and these big, echelon of businesses, where this little guy, the small fry of sorts, the underdog, didn't really have an advantage of getting it. So I'm offering my time and services to you guys in a different way, to try to show you some of these things, these key components. If you're able to capture it, you'll be able to succeed in a lot of things you do, right? So important. Here's why this training is important. I've helped thousands of business owners and business candidates increase their business by increasing their overall profit using this business building blueprint method, right? This is a system for boosting your chances of establishing, identifying, and locating your ideal client for far less than your competition has to pay. Now, check this out. This is very interesting to me. When I sit down and talk to most entrepreneurs, most small business owners, the majority of them do not even know who their ideal client is, nor do they know how much how much the ideal client is worth to them. And these are very important things to know. Who is your ideal client in your business? One, and then, okay, once we've established who your ideal client is, your ideal client, well, how much is it worth to you? Meaning that if the average client that comes to you, right, is worth $150, how much are you willing to pay to get that client? Is it worth 10 cents to you? Is it worth $1, $10? Is it worth $50 to you? What is that? But you got to come up with those numbers. That there's no way for you to be able to get growth in your business if you don't know who your ideal client is. If you don't know who your ideal client is, you don't know how to target them. And if you don't know how to target your ideal client, you're never going to make any money. You're not going to make any profits. And that's the quickest way for someone to start business. A lot of people start businesses because they're full of passion, right? They're passionate about this thing. But one thing how you can quickly turn a passion into a nightmare is to not make any money. And the thing that you love is causing you to go homeless. And that's the quickest way to get out of business, and the quickest way to fall out of love for what you truly been put on this earth to do, right? And we don't want that. So I'm going to share with you 3 techniques. These 3 key components will completely revolutionize the way in which you conduct your business on a day-to-day basis. All right. These are the most common but overlooked strategies that no one teaches you or anyone else, because it is expected that you already know them. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. What I've discovered is most people are not pre-programmed on how to operate a business. For the most part, the majority of us are conditioned to be an employee, not to be a CEO or a business owner. And let me tell you something. I believe that that's by design. You were not designed to be a CEO. You weren't designed to be a business owner. Even though our country that we live in, for the most part, is designed off of businesses, most people do not have those business principles about them. They went to a regular school. They went to college where they were, taught a certain way, and that certain way was how to be an employee, not how to run a business, not how to run marketing, not how to run advertising, not how to, learn about profit and loss. None of those things were a factor because it just wasn't taught. So we're at a great disadvantage. A lot of us are at great disadvantage because a lot of these basic techniques that I'm going to talk about today are things that most people have never even heard of or never even been sat down with and really explained. This is how you run your business, and these are the things you got to focus on, if nothing else, right? And it's kind of crazy, all right? So the first secret to getting your business up and running or increasing the output of your current business, to understanding the strategy of productivity. Now, what does that mean? You know, we look here, you see productivity, value over cost. Let's do profitable business. Everyone wants to be in profit. Everyone wants to be in profit mode. Everyone wants to make money. But what does that really look like? Because if we don't really explain that, it looks like some esoteric, some whimsical, out in the sky piece of pie, you know, out there that we can never really grasp, right? For example, look at a business which has 3 times more operating or marketing budget than you. Notice what features they have that you can model in your current business to be able to operate at a higher level, right? So you look at it for in this case right here. So there are businesses that have, you know, major operating and marketing budgets, right? So meaning that they can get in front if they know, right? So number one, operating, meaning they can hire more people than you, right? So they got a lot of people that's doing the footwork. So let's talk about that real quick. So and you break up my little thingamathinga here. So I want you to see this. So number one, we're talking about operating, right? So let's circle that real quick. Operating, all right? So operating, meaning that they can hire more people. They got more footwork. They got more people that can do more things. And then the second thing, marketing, right? Marketing. We're gonna get a little bit more, we're gonna get more deeper into that later on, but marketing. All right, so now let's clear that. Let's clear all my drawings. Let's go here. So marketing, right? So marketing. What do you mean by marketing? Marketing meaning that they're able, this is more on an intimate level, this is the planning, this is strategic. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that because marketing and advertising are 2 different things. We're gonna get to that. Marketing budget. So if they got a bigger marketing budget than you, meaning they can come up with more concise marketing, meaning the intimate part. This is the planning phase of what they're going to do, right? So if they have a more concrete plan, right, then that means that they understand their target market. They understand, so for number one, they know who their target market is. They know where they can find their target market, right? And they have the strategies to put in place on how to put their advertisement in front of their target market. And that means that they can do it more than you. They can do it 3 times more than you because they got a budget that exceeds yours. So what we're going to learn today is understanding that even when you lack the resources, then you can become resourceful and still beat out your competition on this. All right. So notice what features they have that you can model in your current business to be able to operate at a higher level. That's when you lack the resource, you get resourceful. There's other ways in which you can do it, but you got to sit down, you got to figure out what that looks like. All right. So you have to understand that you must have an order of operations to sustain or maintain a profitable business. If anyone ever took math, you remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It's the order of operations. In order for you to solve that equation, you have to do it in a particular order. And if you do it out of order, you're not going to come up with the proper solution at the end, correct? So everyone remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I need you to remember that because it's the same thing in business applied, the same type of formula, meaning certain orders in which you have to do in order to get a particular desirable result. All right. All right. Understanding strategy 1, right? And that's the business productivity, is the ability of an organization to utilize its available resources in order to produce profitable goods or services as desired by customers and clients, period. Right? So you're trying to give the best product, the best services, right, to your customers, right? The best, but it being quality, but not really costing you a lot, and then you're able to make a profit. It is the productivity that measures the performance of an organization, and it can also be used for companies themselves in order to access their own progress. So basically, you can look at this, and I don't want to lose anybody, so just follow me. We're going to break this thing down like a fraction. But I want you to understand that your productivity is measured by how much you can get done with as less resources as possible, but still giving good quality to the client and making a profit. Meaning, for example, if I'm paying, $20 to make a product, right? I'm paying $20 to make a product, and then turn around, I gotta pay $5 to market it, and then I sell for the client for $15. Well, that's not productivity. I'm not making any money. I'm losing because it's costing me $25 to make the product, and I'm only selling it for 15, right? So I'm losing out on what? What's that? If I'm losing out on $10, right? Can I afford to lose $10 on every client following these principles? But guess what? The crazy thing about it is most businesses are following this type of behavior when it comes to productivity because they don't know who their ideal client is. They don't know where the ideal client is at, nor do they know how to get in front of their ideal client. So they're spending a lot more money to produce a product that most likely will not be bought. One, two, they're spending more to produce a product that they don't even know who to market it to if it was to be able to be bought by this particular market, right? If that makes sense. So meaning that if the product could sell, right, they don't know who to sell it to, right? Nor do they know if it could sell, they don't know where to sell it at. And that affects your productivity. So meaning your productivity is kind of where you start everything at, right? And we're gonna talk a little bit more about this. All right. Strategy one, continue. We're gonna talk about new product profit. So productiveness increases the overall effectiveness of an organization. When the efficiency of the organization increases, the production capacity of the company is utilized to the optimum level, meaning you can make more profits because now you're at your optimum level. You're paying a lot less to produce a product, right? You're selling it at a higher value to the client. The client appreciates it because now it's not just, even if you were able to put the product together cheaply, right? The client themselves perceive it as what is a value that has been put together as something of value, and they appreciate it, right? Thus, all resources are used in an effective and efficient manner to increase the best possible results. As it is often indicated by business, the more products you make, here we go, the more products you make, the lower your overhead and the higher your profits will be, right? Digest that. So the more products you can make that can be bought, that people are willing to buy because you've identified your ideal client, you know where your ideal client is at, you know where to position your product, what price margin to position your product and or service, right? So you're able to make more products for a lot less, still give it to the client at value, meaning it's something that's sturdy, it's something together, it makes sense, right? And they're willing to buy, your profits will be higher as a result of, period. It doesn't get any easier than that. All right, so here we go. This is the key. This is the component here that I want you to understand, right? The three key components. You got productivity, marketing, and profit. Now, some people will think about it, they're like, oh, profit should be first. But think about it like this. How can you build a roof without a house? You got to have a house to put the roof on. So it has to be a foundation, has to be a structure, then the roof. So let's talk about the first thing with the productivity. All right. So here, on the productivity, you have to know what business you're in. So under here, this is our productivity. Okay, let me get my little be able to annotate this so everybody can follow what we're talking about here. So we're here. All right, we're here, productivity. Now under here, you see all this right here. All right, and this keyword right here, this foundation right here. All right, so your productivity has the components in here. You got three components. You got your location, right? You got your foundation, right? And then you got your target market, right? So let's think about it for a minute here. So we talked about productivity and the importance of it, all right? So if you look here, we see productivity right here. And we see that there's four things. It says you have to know what business you are in. So we always remember the saying back in the day that says, never build a house on the sands, it'll wash away. You never want to build. So your productivity on the activity that you do, how you do things, how you move is depending on what your location, right? You're not going to build a structure on the sand per se. You're not going to build it what easily can be knocked over, tilled over. So there's things that you have to do. And one of the things that you have to do is figure out exactly where you're going to locate your business. Why? Because you got to know what business you're in, right? What business you're in. So meaning if you're in let's just say if you're in a clothing business, your geographical location, would it be smarter to be in a storefront, where people, you can have foot traffic, or would it be better for you to be in an office location where there's no foot traffic, right? Just things like you got to think about what type of business are you in, right? Determines, okay, what location do I need to be in? Can I be in multiple locations? Can I be in a brick and mortar location? Can I be in an online location? All right. The second question is, why are you in this particular business? Well, I want to serve X amount of people with this particular problem. I want to serve this many people. And remember, the more narrow you get, the harder it can be to find clients. The more broader you are, the easier it is to find clients. But too broad, too narrow, either way, you got to kind of find a median in between the two, right? And then the third one is, who are you helping and why, right? Who are you helping and why? So who are you helping? Why are you helping them, right? These things are going to determine a lot about your business. Is going to determine what type of business you're in. It's going to determine where your business is going to be located, right? It's going to determine how strong a foundation your business is, because your core values as the leader is going to determine a lot of things. And it's also going to determine your target market. Who are you looking to market? Why are you looking to market them, and why? What benefits will it benefit them, and what benefits will it benefit you, right? That's all under productivity, period, right? You got to understand those key components, hands down, the importance of it, right? Because we get the key thing to any business. A lot of people, they go into everything else, before they start talking about the foundation. You cannot start building walls, a roof, and an attic, and have all these things if you don't have a foundation. The first thing that they lay down when they're building a house is what? What is it, ladies and gentlemen? It's the foundation. The house has to sit on the foundation. This is it. And your foundation is based on your client. So no matter what idea you have or how good you think that idea is, if you cannot find clients that are willing to participate, meaning they're willing to divest themselves of money, then you're kind of somewhat wasting your time if you're planning on making that a profitable business. Now, if it's just something that you just like to do as a hobby, you want to share an experience with somebody, by all means, go ahead and do that. But if your desire is to make money in this particular thing, in this particular business, you got to take into consideration the client. And the client in this case is your target market. And your target market is identified by those 4 questions. You have to know what business you're in, right? You have to know what business you're in and why you're in that business, right? Who are you helping and why? And what order do you start in? The order of this is part of that. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, right? It's a certain order. And the order of operations here is understanding, number 1, your productivity, 2, your marketing, and 3, your profit. And there's a lot of things in between those pieces that make sense, but no one's really ever explained this to you for the most part. No one's ever explained to you why you have to start at the foundation, why you got to start at the bottom. Everybody says you got to start at the bottom. You got to start. Yeah, we get you got to start at the bottom, but why do I have to start at the bottom? Why? Is literally you're not at the bottom, you're really at the top, right? Because your clients is what makes or break your business, your foundation. If you have a cracked foundation in the house, it's a serious problem. The house can come tumbling down. So understanding the foundation is everything. That's the beginning of everything. And you want to build on a very strong foundation. foundation here, right? Very, very, very strong foundation, because your target market, your audience that you're trying to attract, first of all, you got to know them. You have to know them. You have to know where they are at, how to find them, how to put yourself in front of them so that they can bring everything together to make your business, profitable. And that's what we're talking about. And like I said, when we talk about the three components, the first thing people want to think about is profits. The first thing they want to profits, profits, profits. But your productivity is the most important thing that leads to your profits. If you go into the situation only thinking about profits, then profits you shall not have. All right, because you have to have a structure in place in order to capture the profit. And while a lot of businesses fail is because the only thing they think about is the money aspect of it. And in that process, they don't think about all the other legwork and structure that is needed in order to make the business work. And that's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand today. All right. So I hope you guys get that. We're gonna dive a little bit more. We're gonna get a little bit more deeper. But for right now, that's where we're gonna stop right there until we get to the next component, because the next component is it's crazy. All right. So knowing the difference is number two. All right. So a lot of people use the word advertisement and marketing interchangeably, like it's the same thing, and it's not. It's totally, 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 totally not. And this is what a lot of businesses go wrong. They don't understand. So really, if you're running a full-fledged business, you should have a marketing department and an advertisement department. They're not one and the same. All right. So let's talk about advertisement real quick. All right. Advertising is the paid, public, non-personal announcement of a persuasive message by an identified sponsor. What does that mean? It's a freaking ad, or it's a commercial, or an explainer, or whatever it is, but it's non-personal. It's just explaining a concept, an announcement, a persuasive message to get people to look at your brand, look at your company, for whatever reason, right? That's what that is. It's a billboard. It's a commercial. It's any of those things. It's not really that personal thing. It's one of those outward cold. It's like you're trying to compose a cold market to a warm market. It may or may not work, but all that is dependent on your productivity, location, what type of client, what's your ideal client, where are they located. That's going to depend on where you advertise. But where does that come from even before that? Let's dive a little deeper. Let's talk about marketing. Marketing is what? Marketing is more of an intimate thing. It's right, in-home marketing is a systematic planning, implementation, and control of a mix of business activities intended to bring together buyers and sellers for the mutual advantageous exchange or transfer of products and services to profit. All right, layman's term, it's the planning part of a business to identify, after we already got the productivity, right? We got the productivity at the bottom, then we got the marketing at the top, because the marketing, right, is our what? Now, let's pull up the picture. Our marketing is our structure. Let's annotate. Let's go and draw. So let me sure you say. So now we already talked the productivity down here, right? The productivity is our location, our foundation. That's the reason, you have to know what you're in business for. Why are you in this particular business? Who are you helping, and why? What order am I in? Then the marketing part, right? So we get to the marketing part. Let me see if I can get this into a different color. Different color, we can actually see a little better. All right. So now we get to the marketing. All right. Marketing is our structure. All right, our structure is this. This is our structure here. This is the main house, right? This is the main house, all right? Now, there's a couple of things you see here in the main house. Number one, you see windows, you see doors, and you see this word says here, you see this word says organic over here, right? So our structure is our marketing. Our marketing is our intimate way, is the planning phase on how we're going to get people in. Our planning phase, we can use SEO. Everyone heard that, search engine optimization. We can use organic, that's part of the organic. When you do search engine optimization, you do press releases. There's all types of things you can do. but understand the difference between advertisement and marketing. Marketing is the more the planning part of it, right? And it allows the doors and the windows to be open to different things. So once they come up with that planning phase here in the marketing, right, that allows for this, and we're gonna talk about that later, that allows for the advertisement, all right? Because now we've determined we've got our foundation, right? We know exactly what we're looking for, who we're looking for, and why we're looking for it. So we got a strong foundation. So we're taking all the right actions here, right? We're doing all the right actions here. So now we come up with our structure of our house. We lay the foundation down. Now we got the structure. Now we got doors and windows. We can get organic. We can get paid. We can do what? But we got to plan for it. We got to plan. All right. And that's what marketing is. Marketing is nothing but the planning phase of what we're doing. And then once we plan, right, then we go to the advertisement part. Marketing holds everything together. It is the conduit between the foundation and the profit center. Right? It is the conduit between it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to have a marketing plan. You got to have a plan together. Because once you start constructing those walls, those ceilings, and stuff like that, that's a plan. The blueprint, right? It's a blueprint. It's a part of the blueprint. You cannot give, blueprint plans without the structures. What are the measurements of the walls? What's the dimensions? If you can't produce that, they're not going to ever approve the blueprints. So here is a prime example of how you must have this stuff in order to make everything work, right? So once again, the marketing holds everything together. It is the conduit between the foundation and profit center. All right, so it's like the glue, right? So let's go to the next concept real quick. Let's erase all this real quick because I want to carry on the next page. And we're gonna talk a little bit deeper about this. All right, understanding profits, and this is the part that everyone wants to talk about. So before we go there, we gotta, everyone wants to, they're like, man, this should have been the first thing you talked about was profits, but it's absolutely not. It is not the most. It's not the most important, because in order to get to this part, it's an order of operations. You can't even get to this part. You can't even get to the part of profiting unless you got other things. You got a foundation. You got a structure, right? So it's almost like you can't collect money if you don't got a jar. You can't collect money if you don't have a bank account, right? Understanding profits. Number 3. All right, profits is the money a business makes after accounting for all expenses, regardless of whether the business is a couple of kids running a lemonade stand or a publicly traded multinational company. Instead of earning profits is every company's goal. You got to consistently, be earning profit. I mean, that's the company's goal. You want to make profits. As a result, much of the business performance is based on profitability in its various forms. Some analysts are interested in top line profitability, where others are interested in profitability before expenses, such as taxes, interest, and still others are only concerned with profitability after all expenses being paid. I look at it like this: when it comes to profitability after all expenses being paid, what am I making, right? Am I able to make a product at this amount? I'm able to get it out, distribution. I'm able to create it, distribute it, and what's my profit after all expenses paid, after my distribution people are paid, after my platform people are paid, after all these things are paid, what do I stand to gain from it from a profitable standpoint? And a lot of that is gauged on, number 1, my foundation of what are my target market? Who am I doing it for, and why? Going right back to the same chart. Who am I doing it for and why? Right? And then my marketing. Why am I doing this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to get in front of the right people? Right? That's how we do it. And that's part of the next phase of what we're going to talk about. All right. So we're back here again, right? Because we talked about the 3 main components is productivity, marketing, and profit, right? So we've already talked about the foundation, the location, the productivity, which all goes in with the target market. So we already know exactly who we're looking for and why we're looking for them. Then the structure is the marketing piece of it, right? The marketing is the planning phase of it. And then here, when we talk about the profit, right? We're up here at the profit now. Let me go ahead and get it together. Now we're talking about the profit. Now, what's so significant about the profit is that all this, now we're looking at the advertisement. And so there are all types of subsets in order to get the profit. So, you know, the advertising piece, you know, let's just say we got the sun here beaming down. We got the sun beaming down here. So this you know, this is how we get some energy. This is how we get some clients. Okay, this is let's just say this is Facebook, right? This is Facebook, right? So this is Facebook, and they got all these rays coming down. So right now we come up with a foundation, right? A location. Let's keep location. Remember, we said we need to find an ideal client. So if we're at a location where there's not a lot of sunlight, in this case, a lot of Facebook exposure, how are we ever going to get our ideal client? And our ideal client's never going to come. And if our ideal client never comes, they never spend any money. And therefore, we do not have a profitable what? Business. All right. So now let's look at it. So now we've collected a good location. We got a strong foundation. We know who we're looking for. So we plan, come up with a marketing strategy. We advertise that marketing strategy to our ideal client, our target market, right? We got solar panels on the roof, right? That's basically, solar panel ain't nothing but another funnel. That's how we're attracting. We taking some of the energy. We're funneling these rays from this sun, which we're saying the sun is Facebook, is raining down all the sunlight on us. So we're capturing through our solar panels, which do nothing but a funnel, a landing page. You know, here we go. We got another funnel over here. We got the chimney, whatever the case may be. We got organic. We're capturing people organically through SEO, search engine optimization. People that we know personally may come in through a door, a window. You know, these are things that we've already got in place. So now that as these people come in, right, they funnel in through the roof, right, through solar panels, through our chimney, they're coming in our attic. And as they come to our attic, we funnel them in to the main structure of where our products and our services are. And then if we're able to sell, if we're able to manufacture and distribute those products cheaper than what we sell them for, make a profit there, and then after we pay all expenses, we're still in profit mode. Obviously, we made a profit, right? But all these things plays a major part in that. And a lot of people don't understand the basic premise of business because they don't understand the terminology, nor do they understand the steps in it. Foundation first, understanding and identifying and locating the target market, putting yourself in position, right? And then coming up with a marketing plan, a structure to be able to build everything on the foundation of. And then once you plan, is then you can start advertising, capturing the Facebook leads, the Instagram, and this can be, you know, Twitter, IG, Instagram, whatever source you got. It could be beaming down here, whatever source you have, but you got to have a structure in place. And the only way you can get these IG or you get these Facebook leads, you got to know what your target market is, right? It would be a shame if you're in the tea business, but your ideal client is people looking for teddy bears. I don't know the similarities between people who want tea or drink tea and buy teddy bears, if that's an interest. So one of the things you got to learn the difference, and when we talk about social media, is understanding the difference between interest and actual buying behavior. It's a big difference between the two. A lot of people, that's where they mess up at. They don't even know the first thing of how to set an ad up, let alone what exactly are they looking for, and that can make the difference of making or breaking you in your business. So let's just clear this real quick so you can understand. So it's a lot to understand when it comes to business. A lot of this that we're talking about today is stuff that people just automatically assume that you already know. And these are the basic principles a lot of people don't know. All right. Well, I've just shown you what I've just shown you is the exact system that I've used to help other business owners, including myself, to earn consistent, substantial income and profit in their business, right? And I mean, this is the same exact system, I promise you. It's a system I personally use for everyday clients and customers just like you. Now, let's recap everything you discovered today. First, we talked about the importance of knowing your business operations, or your order of operations, should I say, productivity, to maximize your time, effort, to align your business to the highest value, yielding the most profits. You also learn the difference between marketing and advertising, and how not knowing the difference puts your business at a great disadvantage. Finally, we learn how having the right stages in our process affects the profit in our company, and how it can capitalize if you are not, how you can capitalize if you're able to understand how everything ties into each other. I assure you, your average competitor are not doing this. They're not. They don't understand it. They're just, a lot of them are doing it haphazardly. Some of them are doing it accidentally, right? And you don't want to do something haphazardly. You don't want to do it accidentally. You don't want to stumble upon something, right? All right. If you implement just a fraction of what we talked about today, you will surpass your competition in a matter of days, and I guarantee it. You will, if you can implement this is the basic premise, because this is where it all begins. This is the foundation. If you can implement these things, you watch how your business can revolutionize overnight. Right? Now, so let me ask you. I know we had a limited time together, but given the time that we've had, did I do a good job today of giving you information that even if you left this webinar right now, you could use to help position your business tomorrow? Let me know in the chat box by saying yes or no. All right. All right, I got Jessica says yes. All right. Matthew says yes. Jacob says yes. Okay, Amber says yes. And Tracy says yes. Okay, all right. So I feel like I've done something. At least I've given you something to really go off of. All right. Did I earn the right to spend a few minutes talking about how you can work with me inside of my business building blueprint coaching program? Again, this is not for everyone. It's only for people who want to work hard, get amazing results in their business by having a business coach to walk alongside of them, not work for you, not work against you, but to walk alongside of you as a partner to help you, to guide you, and to introduce them to the Fortune 500 and 5,000 companies approaches to scale your business and to maximize profits that will increase your presence in the market in which you operate. Did I earn that? Did I earn the right to spend a few minutes talking about how you can work with me inside of my business building blueprint coaching program? All right. See a couple of people saying yes, yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. So, for example, I've used this program to create multiple streams of income, allowing me the time freedom and income I desire. My students and clients have went from being full-time 9-to-5 people working for jobs that they hate, saw no future, and to position themselves to be able to be a full-time successful business owner. I will show you an example of these stories in a few. All right. There's a small investment, but as you can see, when you go through my business building blueprint coaching program, these are a few of the results you can expect. Selling your first product and or service within 30 days or less on average. I mean, the average person that came in our program, we get straight to the point. We get straight to the meat. There's no reason to be beating around the bush. Some of us already are in business, and some of us are starting from scratch. But either way, it's very easy to start transitioning. So 30 days or less typically is what we're seeing, right? Understanding what it takes to start or sustain a profitable business, right? All right, understanding Facebook marketing and how you cannot run a successful business without it. So one of the things I have to be upfront and honest. If you're trying to be in business and you're just dead broke, this might not be the best place to start. And I have to be honest with you on that. Because if you don't have any money to put towards marketing, it's almost like, it's like a dog chasing its tail. You cannot really get anywhere without it. So the old saying says it takes money to make money. Somewhat true. Now, there's ways you can get resourceful, but you got to be willing to pay something somewhere in order to get a particular result. Where I don't have the marketing dollars, but, I may need to buy a program that helps me get in alignment with what I need to do. Well, maybe that's the sacrifice, but there's going to be some type of sacrifice that you're going to have to make. Having a clear, concise idea of the next steps you need to take and scale your business to the next level, both operationally and profitably. Right. All right. This is what Nicole Monaco. She has a boutique. Glamorous Curves Boutique. This is what she said. She said, this program has helped me in so many ways. It gave me a different outlook on the things that I wasn't doing right while operating my business. Start thinking forward. Coaching helped me to get my business back on track. Just when I thought about quitting, Brandon is an awesome coach, and he's very transparent. Brandon has definitely motivated me and has helped me to get my business back on track. I'm so glad I made this investment. I highly recommend this program to anyone who wants to be successful. And I always put down people's information because I'm not making this up. These are people that I've actually worked with. You can hit them up, go on their website, directly contact them. This was a young lady who's struggling a lot in her business, and we just had to go in there and just start some things that she just didn't want to do. But sometimes we got to put our pride together, because when we think we already know something, it's hard for us to go back and start all over. And that's something we had to help her with. And, we had to go in there, revamp some things, and implement some strategies, and start from the foundation and figure out what exactly looking for. I know you may think it may not look the way that you want it to look, but we're looking for a particular customer. So we got to think about the client, the customer, not necessarily what you think or what you would look for. And sometimes that's a little different, but we worked with her. She came on board, and she really, her business has grown exponentially and will continue to grow until she's part of that what we call the double comma club. And that's a whole nother thing we're going to talk about. We're not even getting that, but I really see her becoming part of that club, because she will continue to grow, and there's a big need and desire for people that want to look beautiful. They want to look good, and this is a service that she offers greatly. All right, next person we have is Manson Miller, DJ Manson. This is what he said about me. He said, when Brandon Draper started coaching me about 2 years ago, I had no structure to my company whatsoever. The first thing Brandon did was he challenged me to create a website within 48 hours. Was something I thought was impossible. I finished the website in 36 hours. It was almost be impossible for your company not to grow with Brandon Draper's teaching, because when he gives you lessons, he will make sure that you get it done, or there will not be you will not move forward with new lessons. So you will have to grow, or else. The amount of business that I do today, I did not think was possible 2 years ago. My company's expanded since I started receiving coaching that I truly believe if I did not meet Brandon Draper, my company would not be as successful as it is today. Hey, and his website's there. Hey guys, and yeah, I can be a little hard, and I think he kind of mentioned it here, but the key to it is 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I started working with him, and we're still working together. And that's because, number one, the level that I put into what I do, and I believe in helping people, and I push it to the next level. If you are not successful, and I'm not successful, I'm not. If I cannot keep people can't keep a client 2 years or longer, something's wrong. Something wrong. I'm not teaching them something that they want to go away from me that quick. He's been working with me for 2 years. Think about that. And when he started, he had a full-time business. A full-time job. He had a full-time job. So now he's able to do his DJ business full-time, ladies and gentlemen, full-time. He does nothing else. He's full-time DJ in his business. And like I always tell people, I'm like, man, if you just do 25% of what I'm telling you, you will change your life, in a matter of days. If you just do 25%, you change your life forever. Just 25%. But here's a prime example. Yeah, I am hard, and I don't offer no excuses, and I don't want any excuses. And I'm not willing to give you information, help you get started, and then you just stop, or you just want. I'm not going to give you any more information until you're ready to go forward by what you said you're going to do. As I challenged him, the first thing I told him to do, hey, you got 48 hours to get a website out, man. Hey, look, you don't got a website, you're not even in business. You don't got no digital real estate, And he took charge of that. And he went after it and did it. And let me tell you something. Ever since he did that, he has not looked back since. And I'm so proud of him. Thank you, Manson, for the words here. But this is not to impress anyone that's listening to this right now. Just to impress upon you the importance of having a coach and having a system, an order of operations in your business. It will make the difference, I assure you. All right. And here we have another gentleman, Mr. Lionel. Brandon is a great motivational speaker. He turned my focus into super focus. He gave me the tools to think out of the box in order for me to accomplish my goals. Start Thinking Forward Coaching is a must to excel in today's world. It has helped my business tremendously. I will continue to subscribe because I don't have the time or the resources for pitfalls or dead ends. There are so many advantages to subscribing. It is a must-have. Brandon truly cares about your success, and I really do. And thank you, Lionel. I really appreciate that. But this brother here, he came to me. I met him actually out and about, and he came to me and he said, "Hey, look, I want to start a business." Told him kind of what I did. And next thing you know, we spent a couple of hours together. The first time we sat down, I think it was literally for like 6 hours, where I just really poured into him, and he gave me this vision, and I felt like this vision was so huge that I could not sidestep it. I had to really, pour into him deep. And what he said was, hey, point blank period. And he said, hey, man, I want to open up a mobile lab service, and I want to have a bus, for this thing. And at the time, he had no bus. He didn't even have a lab service, didn't have any certification or nothing. And we just kind of sat down and streamlined a lot of things he would need to do. And he was already, like he said, focused. But I made him even super focused because I made him think about the things that he just didn't quite think about yet, and just had to really, get into. And from there, you can see the story. Matter of fact, if you go to my Facebook, you go back on my timeline, and I'll probably repost it, or I'll probably put it on my website. I actually met him, and like I said, it's real personal. But his first event that he actually did, where he actually had his own van. I'm so proud of his brother. Had his own bus, had all the lab equipment and everything inside of there. This brother's freaking awesome. He took what was in his dream and made it a reality. And that video was right on my Facebook. And like I said, I'm almost like I put it on my website. I've been meaning to do it. It's very emotional. Really care about him. I really care about his success. I care about all my clients' success, because I said I'm not successful and my clients are not successful. And my clients are, people that I care about, the business owners that want to take their business to the next level. So it's very important to me. It's very personal to me and important to me, right? I really thank everyone for the kind words here. But this is not something just flattery. This is the real deal. And I promise you, reach out to these guys if you want, and find out, if I'm full of crap or I'm telling the truth here. This is what I'm about. I'm not going to get all used car salesy on you. You watched this entire training session, and if you listen to me, you've heard my story. What I taught you today can help you start or help you grow your business in ways that your wildest dreams cannot imagine. So here's what